to Brickton Studios, home to the world's scariest monsters.
Did he say monsters?
Maybe we can help.
I'll take any help I can get.
Looks like we've got another mystery on our hands. We're gonna need some live bait.
What do you say, fellas? Will you do it for a Scooby snack?
No way, no how.
Isn't this exciting?
We're being chased by a monster!
Yes, a Hollywood monster in Hollywood!
What are they saying?
I don't know, because you're whispering at me.
Lego Scooby-Doo, Haunted Hollywood.
OMG! That sounds like the best movie ever!
Hi, this is Marc Morrell from ToonBarn, and we're here at WonderCon 2016, and we're talking about Lego Scooby-Doo, Haunted Hollywood. And I'm here with Rick Morales, the director.
Yes.
Also a producer in this one, right?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a brand new Lego Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movie. This has never been done before, right?
No, it hasn't. It's the first 72-minute long form that we've done. We did do a 22-minute Nighttime Terror that came out a few months ago. I'm excited to see people's reaction. You know, we've been working on it for over a year now, and it's almost time for it to be released, so it's exciting.
This is actually a world premiere where a lot of people are getting to see it for the first time, and including people that have been involved with it in the crew, right?
Yeah, actually, that's true. I have seen it numerous times at this point, but actually, yeah, there are some here that haven't seen it yet. It's that fresh out of the oven, so.
So we saw a trailer for it, okay, and in the trailer, one of the first characters we see is a tour guide, and James had said that the tour guide was sort of like the one from 30 Rock that you see, but I also thought he looked a lot like Jim Carrey's character from Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd.
Yes, yeah, I can see that. I totally can see that. We even gave him the gap tooth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that designed like that, or how was that? How did that come about?
You know, not necessarily. I think, if I remember correctly, Scott Menville did his voice, and he did a terrific job. But we weren't. Did you guess that, or did you know?
we know Scott very well. He's great.
He's fantastic. But I think when we came in to do the record, we were still in the process of designing, and he came into the booth, and Colette, our
voice director,
was kind of going through with him, like, what does this character sound like? And he came up with this voice, and it was just like, yeah, that's the guy, you know? Yeah. And then once we heard that, I think it kind of did influence the design. So, until you mention it right now, the Lloyd didn't come to mind, but I can totally see it, and it's a good observation.
Oh, thank you. Brickton Studio, was the opening to that studio designed after another studio?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. We're on the or at the time we were on the Warner Brothers Ranch, so we're on a lot with a bunch of sound stages around us. So of course that influences it. But we were looking at Universal and Paramount and all those different gates. So for sure, absolutely.
Right. That's cool.
That was. I mean, I think it's fairly thinly veiled what this is, but yeah.
Okay, so what enabled you guys to bring Elvira into the show?
You know, that was just a suggestion in a random meeting with one of our executive, Jeff Przenkowski. I think he's the one that mentioned it. Like, hey, what about Elvira? And I was like, oh my God, of course, yes, Elvira. Like, so that was probably for me one of the most exciting things about doing this and doing the voice record with this was having Cassandra Peterson come in and actually do the record, because I grew up with Elvira probably everybody else, and you could feel it in the booth. I mean, it's always exciting to work with these guys, James, but when she comes in, everybody's like, oh, that's Elvira. Oh, that's Elvira. They're kind of the whispers and all that stuff, and in fact, I don't generally it's. You work with some stars, and sometimes it's exciting, but you got to, on my part, keep it professional, right? Because you're working with them, your colleagues. Right. So it's very rare that I've ever come to the end of a session and been like, hey, I got to get a picture with you. But for Elvira, it was a different story. I'm like, this is probably a once in a lifetime thing, so let's just do it. So the whole crew got in there. We went into the booth, and of course, when she comes in to record, she doesn't wear her whole get up, right? But the funniest thing about it is we go in, we start to take the pictures. She's like, oh darn! If I knew that we were going to take pictures today, I'd have wore the whole thing. I was like, oh, missed it, but fun. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we actually have a whole bunch of movie monsters and everything that are the ghosts of this story. And of course, the story is that Brickton Studio is getting haunted. So it's sort of going down the tubes, right?
Yeah. Shady developer, haunting, very classic Scooby-Doo stuff. That was kind of my thought going into this. A lot of times. With new Scooby material, there's a kind of a reinvention. They want to new designs or a new take on the characters, and I felt like for this, the marriage of Scooby and Lego was the new take. So to me, it felt like, well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to rewatch all the Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, the classic stuff, and just do that. Just try to do that as closely as we could. Because we already have the new Lego element added onto that, and that kind of brings it into a new thing. So yeah, even down to kind of the music has shades, I think, of the old series, and we've got the old Hanna-Barbera like sound effects popping up in there from time to time and stuff like that. So
yeah. Now, Scooby and Shaggy are known for their eating habits. All right. So in this one though, it's Lego. You had to hide it a little bit to be able to get them to eat, right?
It's a really good, yeah. That's funny. It was one of the big concerns going into this. Was how are we going to make these characters eat? Like, because obviously Scooby and Shaggy, they got to eat. That's what they do. When I was approached for this, I remember thinking, wow, how are we going to do that dog in Lego? And we had seen some prototype designs of the character and what they plan to do with their figure, and it was like, oh no, like. How are we going to make this work in animation? But one of the concerns was, do we do the sticker mouth or do we do the sculpted mouth? So I think for Scooby, I realized we have to do the sculpted mouth because he's got to be able to chomp down on something, So we could actually fake Scooby eating. But for Shaggy, you've got the flat plane, you've got penetration issues if you want to go that way. There are ways to fake it, but what we did in this, and you'll see it in the film, is we had to hide it, Right, exactly. Yeah, the head goes down, food flies everywhere, and there you go, they're eating. So,
okay, well, yeah. I want to thank you for joining us on ToonBarn, and thank you for joining us at WonderCon.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's a pleasure.
Some vacation. This is no time for fishing, Scoob. Why do something?
Way to go, Fred!
Look for it on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital.
We have to save the food!
You said it.